Guys have asked me for so goddamn long to make this matchup chart. I think it's finally time. So let me just go ahead and give a rundown of how good I think Ryu is. I think Ryu's busted. I think he's got a top 10 neutral. I think that he's got arguably some of the best microspacing options because he's a Shoto, because of auto turn and having walk speed like he has, along with dash blocking. Great corner pressure, and essentially he's as good as the player who's playing. Absolutely destroys. Okay. Alright, who to start off with? Free. So, I'm not going to expand on Ganon too much, but I actually prefer Ryu more for this matchup because planking Ganon is actually the most obnoxious character to fight. Because they just sit at ledge and they just plank, so all you have to do with Ryu is just kind of sit and just space him out with Shakunetsu. Pretty self-explanatory, you just space him out. Okay. This is going on YouTube in the future? Yes, it's going on YouTube. I have made that promise that it will be going on YouTube. Okay. So, Fox, 55-45, maybe even, but I'm pretty firm on this because Fox is also super light, dies at hard down tilt Tatsu super early, and DI doesn't really help him. Like, hard down tilt Tatsu blows this character out of the goddamn water. On top of, like, him being a character that's very short hop aerial happy, and the Shotos have the best parry punish game, bar none. Like, you can't even make an argument that the Shotos don't have the best parry punish game. So, if he gets a landing aerial punish, he's taking 50 and getting popped into a disadvantage. Now, noted, it's not as explosive as Ken's, so you could still make the argument that, yeah, he's still got a great advantage state, he's still got like, good ledge trapping and everything like that against Ryu, and he still has good options to get in. But the risk will, I don't know. You could argue that this one's even, but I feel like Ryu wins it. If Fox can shine cancel, what's shine canceling? Can't he just spot dodge, roll, jump out of slow Shaku reflection? He can, but I mean, he's not gonna get the punish. That's the thing. He won't actually end up getting the punish. He'll end up like either having to retreat or try to like do something aggressive and take the risk of challenging something meaty off of Ryu, like short hop nair or something like that. Which, if you're approaching with that, then it's kind of hard, especially from Shaku hover. If you're doing Shaku hover and you dash walk and you full hop over it and they reflect it, you can normally cross them up or get something out of that normally. Most of his Kens, so you could still make the argument that, yeah, he's still got a great advantage state, he's still got like good ledge trapping and everything like that against Ryu, and he still has good options to get in. But the risk will, I don't know. You could argue that this one's even, but I feel like Ryu wins it. Okay, moving on. The pits can go down here. Where the fuck's the other pit at? This one's even. It's all neutral. Pretty self-explanatory. You just have to be smart with your fireball placement, know how to deal with reflector, and just have good microspacing to deal with like things like fair nair and things like that. They have great advantage state against us, but that we have the kill power. Same thing with ledge trapping as well. Pit's arrows, like normal Pit's arrows, can be mad obnoxious for gimping against us in a lot of situations. So I'd probably say that normal Pit does better just for that alone, because he can split a recovery. But yeah, this one's pretty easy, even. All right, moving on. Diddy Kong, 55-45. I actually think Ryu's neutral's better. Peanut kind of gets destroyed by Shakunetsu whenever you're spacing him out. And Diddy's neutral's all about, like, using banana and, like, running up and shield a lot and, like, trying to, like, hit you with banana. And, like, Ryu just doesn't care. He can just kind of, like, space him out and just, like, not have to worry about banana. If he throws banana, bounces off shield, he gets some mix. Like, is he going to go for flip kick or is he going to go for spacing fair so he can, like, go into, like, you know, down tilts and shit? You know, Ryu can deal with that pretty well. And on top of that, he's got the kill power. One thing that also helps is, like, our ledge trapping on top of also being able to, like, gimp Diddy's recovery so well with nair. Like, it's actually one of the few recoveries in the game that Ryu kind of shits on because of that. If they ever have to recover low, they actually could just die. That's something that's been in since, like, Smash 4. So, Diddy Kong, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I would love to play against more good Diddy Kongs because I feel like the character's got a lot of potential, but the risk-reward on top of just the struggle in neutral definitely makes me feel like it's slight winning. Fucking us an advantage state? Not really. No multi-hit aerials. Like, yeah, they're good at trapping our landing, sure. But if you just go to ledge and take your mix, then that's fine. Now, to be fair, like, whenever you do have to take the position in the corner, their advantage state in the corner is great. Diddy Kong's ledge trapping is single-handedly the best aspect about the character. But we still have ways to work around it. You know what I mean? And they have to make harder calls to get the stock as early as us. So what ends up happening a lot of times is they have to deal with Rage Ryu because they have to like wait a certain percent to get the kill unless they get an early stock somehow from a Gimp or something like that. So yeah, slightly Ryu just for that alone. Oh god, Donkey Kong. I'm not even gonna expand on this. Donkey Kong, like, just space him out with Shakunetsu and, like, never let him land because up air destroys this character. Samus. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I actually don't think the Samus matchup is that bad. Okay? Mainly because of the projectile war and how it actually, like, works. So, to let you guys know, like, the big thing is people don't know how to deal with Charge Shot, and they don't know how to deal with Missile, and they don't know how to deal with Zair. Okay? So, Hadouken, not Shakunetsu, Hadouken specifically is meant to be used to interrupt charge and make them jump so you can start pushing them to the corner, okay? So, like, once you've got him positioned in the corner, like, Samus struggles hard to get off ledge if you have optimal option coverage and optimal ledge trapping. So if you're, like, standing at roll distance and you're just, like, you know, like, how to deal with fair, you know how to deal with them jumping high, you know how to deal with smart bomb, things like that. So it's not that bad because Hadouken comes out faster than Missile as well because of how much startup her projectiles have. She kind of doesn't really do well in the projectile war if you play it properly. All right? Not to mention the kill power is definitely in Ryu's favor. Now, she does have great ledge trapping. She does have a good advantage state. And she does have a good neutral. But if you don't jump and you simply stick to the ground and play very, like, you know, walking, Hadouken heavy, and just kind of, like, focus on, like, positioning more so than getting in, then the poke war can normally go pretty back and forth. Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt, Duck Hunt, Duck Hunt. This one's probably even. Yeah, this one's even. This one's another projectile-heavy matchup where, like, you have to know, like, when to use Hadouken over Shakunetsu. Like, Hadouken's great for, like, stuffing Clay Pigeon at certain points. Same thing with Can, because it just pops it back and ends up hitting Duck Hunt. But at the same time, like, Duck Hunt's advantage state, Duck Hunt's punish game. Duck Hunt, in my opinion, is by far the most underrated character right now. I think that the character could arguably be the best zoner in the game. I honestly think so. Because it's the only zoner that I feel like I personally struggle with because of just how broken the priority of things like Clay Pigeon and Can is. And it's the fact that they're also combo starters and kill confirms is also pretty wild. The character's nuts. Hadouken just destroys Duck Hunt's neutral. I agree. I agree with you, Vendetta. I think Ryu wins it. This partially might be my own bias. I'm not going to lie to you, Vendetta, because I'm not the best at this matchup, but I've only played it online. So I can't really see it from an offline perspective, but offline I could definitely see what you're talking about. Online I think it's even. But if it was to be offline, I could see that argument. Okay, next, Falcon. Falcon. I'll probably say this one's 55-45. I don't think it's even. This one's definitely, like, you know, a little bit. I definitely prefer Ken for this matchup. But if you just simply hold position on Falcon and you're good at your fireball management and you know how to, like, you know, where to put them at the right times and you're not just spamming it neutral and just, you know, getting jumped over nared need or some shit, the matchup's not that bad. Another thing to keep in mind is Falcon's terrible out of shield options. Like, if you land nair up tilt on block, they can't jump out of shield, like, because jump out of shield is, like, Falcon's main out of shield option. So when you take that from him, all he can really do is roll, which, lol, what the fuck ever. And this character also gets ledge trap pretty hard. We could actually, like, just simply ledge trump with Tatsu, and if he goes low, you can just back air him. Or if he ever has to recover low, you can Tatsu grab ledge and go low with back air and just get free gimps all the time. Now, it can sometimes be risky because of that weird janky fucking command grab hitbox that the character has. But yeah, this one, I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. We combo in Oblivion. We got it, our advantage state's great. But at the same time, Falcon's advantage state is still just as explosive and blows us the fuck up at advantage as well. So it's very momentum-based. It's very, like, if you have good control, it's fine. But if you're someone who cannot hold advantage well, then you're going to get shat on by top Falcons. Top Falcons will absolutely shit on you. It'd probably be even. But optimal Ryu advantage state, it's slightly in Ryu's favor. ROM! I 100% think this is even. So let me explain. I actually think that Roy is even for Ryu, and in theory, it should be plus for Ken. And let me explain why. So the big thing that is the biggest deterrent for Chrom and Roy straight up winning this matchup is how committal they are for jumping in, okay, and how their neutral is. You know what I mean? Like, they're all about, like, having insane safety on block, but with Shoto parry meta, like, if you are good at like, you're consistent at parrying landing aerial, they're taking 50 a pop just for trying to force their openings. Okay, they do have nair, but, like, if you release parry the second nair, you can blow that up. I'm talking about optimal Shotos, by the way. If you're not good at parrying, then the matchup's easily even, or you could even argue slightly in their favor. But with how good the parry punish game is for Shotos, it's pretty hard. Now, for Ryu has the ability to parry, and he has the good projectile. Okay, like, Ken has a decent projectile, sure, but this shit adds up quick. So it ends up making it easy to condition them to jump in, set up parry punches, hard up tilt setups, crescent, you know, not crescent, but fucking roundhouse, whatever the fuck, and just bully them into the corner. So they're very... It's very cut and dry what a Karam and Roy player want to do. They're very aggressive. They're all about running you down and getting in. And Ryu is a wall. Ryu is solely, his entire playstyle is based off of just being able to keep you out, and he does it well when played optimally. So yeah, next. Cloud. Even. It's all neutral. It's all neutral. It's all about spacing out Hadouken, catching landings. We got a good advantage state against them. Good ledge trapping. All our win objectives work well against the character, and at the same time, pretty much everything Cloud wants to do works as well. He doesn't win. He loses the zoning war pretty hard. And whenever it comes time for him to, like, you know, get limit, like, Hadouken can just clank out his neutral B, his limit neutral B. On top of that, like, if we just simply don't want to wait out limit whenever he gets it, we just can. If we just hold center stage and just focus on holding position, like, you don't have to worry about limit much. Okay, where's Peach at? Okay, Peach is 55-45. I actually think we beat Peach, and let me explain why. So, let me explain. Obviously, Peach's advantage state in combo game is significantly better. Great ledge trapping, and has good gimping tools against us. But what she doesn't have is a projectile that can shut down float. Literally, her main thing in neutral is floating. And Shaku Hover is like the perfect fucking counter for it. Anytime you see a Peach just sitting there floating and you set up Shaku Hover, it's the freest approach. Because once they're committed to the float, if they let it go, they either have to deal with like dash walk options to catch them on the ground, or dash walk aerials to catch them for going in the air. And Ryu's aerials and just meaty buttons just beat hers clean. Like F-tilt, roundhouse, fair, back air. Nair from above, unless he challenges it with up air, will beat it. Things like that. And not only that, is her out of shield options, unless like you're behind her with, and she can do out of shield back air, you can kind of like, again, kind of similar to what I was talking about with Falcon, where their main out of shield option is jump. If you're up tilting on block, it's easy to kind of shut down what options they can actually do. Like they can roll away, or like if they jump, they get hit. If they, and that's pretty much it. So like our shield pressure is really good. Ledge trapping is also really good, because whenever it comes to getting off ledge, they either want to do something like they're like their best like reversal options, like Peach Bomber, float off ledge to stall, which, you know, just you Shaku Hover them again, and you can just ledge trap her really well. The only thing that's the deterrent that's keeping me, like, kind of making me think maybe even, is her punish game, because once she gets in, she blows the fuck up, and Turnip does shit on Shoryuken. It really does. Like, once they open us up, like, they can just string us all the way across stage, ledge trap us, and gimp us with Turnip. So I could see it at worst as even, but the fact that her main neutral option and main form of movement gets shut down, it makes me think that it makes me think that we win. She can't get in. Not really. Not to mention, it's like if she tries to go high, then she has to deal with up air. And Ryu's up air shits on Peach. Actually shits on Peach. So they always end up getting stuck in shield and having to deal with the shield pressure. And like I said, like, you just up tilt on block, and they can't really do anything unless they're behind you. I think it's even just because both characters kill each other when they get in, and while she just struggles to get in, she makes up for it in edge guarding. She does. But the thing is, I'm thinking optimal Ryu. I'm thinking hold my position, space them out with Shakunetsu, and focus on shutting down options and making them come to me. Optimal Ryu does not struggle with Peach, and Peach can't really, like, Peach kind of has to get in. Like, once she gets in, she blows him the fuck up, but it's really hard when your main form of movement doesn't, you know, he has the perfect counter for it with a slow projectile that he can approach with. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, but this is kind of where I stand. The only thing that, like, really stands to me as an argument is how good her punish game is. If she does manage to get in, how good her ledge trapping is, and the fact that, like, if we recover low, Turnip will just shit on her recovery. along with her having a good counter, also get gimps. That is that arguably could make me put her here. But neutral being in Ryu's favor like it is makes me want to put him here. I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I could definitely hear the argument for it. I definitely could. But that's kind of what I think right now. Banjo! Banjo. You know, to be completely honest, I'm kind of nervous about placing this character because I've not really fought many good Banjos. The fact that Shakinetsu does not give a flying fuck about Grenade is honestly a big contender for why I put it, even because, like, not only does it not care about Grenade, it doesn't even turn off the Shakinetsu hitbox. It just goes through that shit. It just goes through that shit and it hits Banjo for free. Okay, on top of, like, having things like fast Hadoken as well, that is also really good for, like, making a blow up on hit. Bayonetta. Yeah, probably 55-45. I've not played this matchup with many top Bayonetta players, but I'm going on at this from the standpoint of this character's flawed. This character's got a lot of good shit in the matchup, good advantage state, good edge guarding, and still struggles with the kill. And whenever it comes to the camping tactics, they get out-camped. A lot of people don't know this, but Shakinetsu hits lower to the ground than Hadoken. Hadoken hits higher. So a lot of times I've had situations where I did slow Shaku, and they tried to, like, side B and go through it, and they'd get hit. So, like, that's, like, one of their main ways of, like, always getting past our wall is, like the side B through it. So that helps. And not only that, like, if you do slow shock and they do manage to go under, if you space it properly, you still buffer things like down smash and shit for to punish them. But, yeah, another thing is ledge trapping. Like, we ledge trap them, we out-neutral them. They get it. They die to hard down tilt Tatsu. It's insanely early percents. Yeah. Bayonetta's a flawed character. They can do it, but they're, like, in a lot of situations, they, like... I can't tell you how many times I've played this matchup and I just fall out of their shit and their shit will be negative on hit and then they'll just die. It's actually not. It's not. This character's so fucking flawed. It's stupid. Bowser. Even. I think this one's even too. It's all neutral. Again, Hadoken is super useful just because they can't tough guy through it. Thank God. So that's super helpful. And it's all about, like, spacing them out and just being good at throwing out mid buttons. Having up air is actually super useful for, like, dealing with, like, you know, Nair and shit like that when they just try to unga bunga down with it. But a lot of times, like, whenever it comes to them mixing it up with down, like, you know, down air, Nair, down B, side B, and shit like that, Ryu's really good at just kind of, like, sharking under them and just punishing that a lot of the times. It's not hard as fuck to do it on, like, offline, but I mean, not offline, online, but offline, it's a lot easier to kind of trap his landings and just kind of make him go where you want him to go and corral him into the corner. Now, noted, Bowser's advantage state's really good, and you kind of can't fuck up. This is one of those matchups to where, like, you kind of have to play right. Like, you can't be in a hurry to get the stock, because if you do, he'll open you up one good time, put you in disadvantage, and shut out the deficit. The fact that we have, like, other kill confirms that can cross up DI, like medium Tatsu, Shoryuken, things like that, it's super, super useful for, like, you know, dealing with, you know, him living forever. Having the better kill power is super useful, whereas with Ryu, like, with Ken, they fucking live forever. It's all neutral. Like I said, we have a good projectile. We have good juggle options. We have good options to trap landings. We have good ledge trapping options. He's combo food, so that's also useful. It's all about how good are you at how good are you at, you know, dealing with him landing, how good are you at putting him at the ledge, and how good are you at dealing with him in neutral. Neutral's easy enough because, like I said, you kind of just play Ryu's neutral like you normally would, and it works. Sorry, chat. All right, Bowser Jr. winning. That one's pretty simple. Bowser Jr. is a character that gets shut down again. His down B is trash. If you know how to deal with it, it's not that bad. The optimal ones, they love to camp, and they can't really out-camp Ryu. So, yeah, winning. Okay, Byleth. I think this one is arguably winning to 55-45 because, again, gets spaced out by Shakinetsu. They've got great mid-range options. They've got good ledge trapping. They got a lot of good stuff going for them, but whenever it comes to like getting walled out by Shaku, they always end up having the approach because they can't out projectile us. Ooh, this one's definitely even. Campy Falco, mad annoying. Campy Falco is mad annoying. Like, when they just hit ledge, shoot laser, and kick their stupid hacky sack, like, that's actually pretty obnoxious. And it does help a lot when it comes to dealing with Shakunetsu. We can still do things like slow Shaku at a certain distance, dash walk and jump over it whenever they kick that, throw that out, and, like, hit them in there, and you can open them up. That does help. But at the same time, their advantage state is really good against us. Like, really good. Because of how high they fucking jump, the multi-hits they have, landing fair bullshit, fucking going off stage, like, off-stage shenanigans. They got a lot of good stuff. Now, noted, if you know the counterplay to Falco, like, how to, like, make his, like, combos not work and shit from, like, what Trix was telling me, like, there's a lot of counterplay to Falco that I don't know about. But for now, I think it's even. We don't lose it, but it's even. Greninja. This one, I actually think we could win this one. Mostly because Greninja is a very cut and dry character where if you shut down his burst options on the ground with and space him out with slow Hadouken, it's easy to condition his jump-ins. And Nair and Fair are the freest things to parry. They really are. They're free as fuck. Now, like, that's a neutral. Now, an advantage, like Greninja, once Greninja gets rolling, like, we have a problem. As Ken and Ryu, we have a problem. So, they can't really camp us out. But having such a high jump to get out of our pressure in a lot of situations is annoying. Having hard down tilt Tatsu killing as early as it does is definitely a plus, though, because of Greninja being a fast faller. So that's also a really big point to make. I'll put that down at even. I'll put that one down at even. Agreed. Ken deals with him way better. I agree, David. Yeah, definitely. This one, I don't know. Where the fuck would I put Hero, man? Where the fuck would I put Hero? I actually don't know where the fuck to put Hero. Hadouken interrupts down B hard. Yeah, that's my strategy too, Vendetta. But at the same time, what they do a lot of times is they'll sit there and they'll jump and they'll cycle. They'll see the Hadouken coming and they'll jump and they'll cycle and they'll keep cycling until they get bounce. And then from that, they'll just keep doing that until they can stack buffs to force you approach. What the fuck was his name? Jakaru. I think I played with my Ryu a couple times, and whenever they commit to that playstyle, like if they get good RNG Vendetta, it's kind of they kind of can just like do what they want. I think it's right now I'm saying even because RNG, and it's really hard to be consistent with RNG. So for the consistency argument, I'm going to say this, but I could see it being obnoxiously hard for him to deal with like super campy Hero. This is specifically why I prefer Ken in this matchup, because Ken can get in and pressure him for trying to run away, and he has good ledge trapping to deal with that. I mean, Ryu has good ledge trapping too, but he doesn't have the movement that Ken has, so it helps to shut down the distance and kind of get in. But yeah, this one's hard. This one's definitely hard for me to say. I want to say even. It could be slightly losing. I'm gonna go ahead and put slight losing to losing. I also want to go on record saying I don't believe that Ryu has any 60-40 matchups that he loses, like, you know, against him. I don't think there's a character in this game that 6-4s him. Yeah, side B is also a good argument, too. Side B is actually really good, but it also has a lot of startup, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think Hadouken can also travel through and interrupt that if you see them charging it in the air. That's one thing that I do. Also, having their second charge in their neutral B be able to go through Hadouken is also really, really good. It's also really good. I don't know. I have to play this matchup more. For now, I'm just going to stick it in even. I don't think it's bad enough to necessarily say it's losing, but cycle camping while jumping over Hadouken is pretty obnoxious, and I didn't find the counterplay to that. Outside of, like, going into like things like slow Shaku and dash walking to cut them off from center stage and putting them in the corner where they cannot keep cycling. That's the kind of the trick. Is you kind of have to like position yourself at like mid-far distance or so just to be able to like have the threat of, hey, asshole, you keep cycling, I'm going to jump in and fuck you up. But it's all a bait. You know what I mean? It's all about bait and punishing from that range and knowing how to like, you know, mind game the fuck out of them to make them try to go for center stage or something, or try to get stage control back while spacing them out and just hoping they don't get bounced. Once they get bounced, that's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. Because once they have bounced, the matchup definitely is in their favor. Okay, next. Oh, boy. This one right here, This one right here, I want to say even. I really do. Because, like, once we hit this character and kill Nana, this character gets completely shat on. But if we don't kill Nana, this character literally can cutscene us into death from one opening. Optimal Ice Climbers scare the absolute fuck out of me. Even basic Ice Climbers at Vantage State destroys us. But, like, not to mention their unfair ledge trapping. Like, their ledge trapping when they are together is actually unfair. Because down B, like, desyncs at the one, they're sitting here doing this shit right here at ledge. I still to this day have no counterplay to that. Like, tried neutral get up, didn't work. Tried roll, didn't work. Tried jump, you guessed it. Tried Shaku off ledge, ice blocked my ass into a fucking blast zone. Didn't work. I do not know what the fuck to do about that. Now, this could be partially because I don't know the counterplay. But if you factor in how bad Nana's AI is, on top of literally open them up one time with fair, separate them, and just focus Nana while, like, walling out Popo from coming in, like, you just destroy this character once you separate them. Like, they're trash because of that. But God help you if you don't separate them. You don't separate them, you're going to die. And once they get an advantage when they are both together, it's hard, man. It's hard. So I can't necessarily say it's losing because of their flaws, and I can't really say it's winning either because of their strength. So it's going in even. If I ever fight an Ice Climbers in bracket, I have no idea how to go about it. The matchup as Pika, I'll just probably go Mewtwo, camp him. No, not really, no, dude. As Pikachu, you just definitely shit on this character, man. The trick is to get in there, separate them, and edge guard them. And as Pikachu, you can do that because edge guarding Ice Climbers is free from what every Ice Climber player has told me because of how bad Nana's AI is. Sometimes Nana will just run off the fucking ledge and die. Just because. Existence is pain and she doesn't want to live anymore. I don't know. I don't get it. Ike. Basic as fuck. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think we win this one. Ike is a character that if you know the basics of how to parry punish landing aerials, you're going to fucking destroy this character. Space him out with Shakunetsu, everything like that, you're fine. Yeah, he's got good combos and stuff like that, but honestly, he gets walled out by Ryu pretty hard. I'd honestly go as far to say that, yeah, I'd probably put him up here. Because, like, his neutral is all about spacing you out. And so is Ryu's, except Ryu has a projectile, and it's a good one. So, yeah, I definitely think Ike loses this matchup. I think that an Ike player can do it if he's fundamentally strong enough, and, you know, he can exploit, like, certain things about the Ryu as a player. But optimal Ryu, I feel like shits on this character. Incineroar. Yeah, this one's winning. Mostly, again, space him out, slow as shit. Revenge is scary, but it's not really that scary as long as you stay away from him. If he does grab you, you're going to die, but you deserve it if you do. Okay, Inkling. This one, I know I'm going to get some flack for, but I actually think Ryu beats Inkling. I actually do. I play this matchup with good Inklings often, and it's honestly one of my favorite matchups. I fucking love this matchup. And again, it's all neutral, but... Okay. Maybe I don't know. This might be my own personal bias coming through here because I'm good at this matchup. But whenever it comes to Inkling's neutral, it's all about, like, spacing aerials and shit like that and, like, fading back. And if you just have good fireball placement, it's really easy to close the gap whenever it comes to dealing with just, like, an Inkling spacing you out. Because that's what they want to do a lot, right? That's, like, their approach to the Ken matchup. They just kind of space you out and just kind of, like, you know, never commit and do whatever. But Ryu actually has options to punish that on top of hard down tilt Tatsu. Like, that's so good because Inkling falls out of a lot of Ken's kill confirms, and she doesn't fall out of Ryu's. Ryu's can just go, like, opt into hard down tilt Tatsu if they SDI away like they would for Shoryuken and still die. So that's actually super useful. On top of things like, you know, like they also now the one argument they do have is they have a good kill confirm for up throw up air, and they have, like, such a wide window for it, so that alone you can make the argument that it's even, but I won't say it's any worse than that. I really wouldn't. Bias Ronin definitely feels like we win it. Like, in my heart, I really do feel like we win it. But for the sake of just looking at it from the standpoint of they still have good kill confirms against us. Roller is not really that good if you know how to avoid it. We're good at ledge trapping them. They have a good wall out game with things like splat bomb into neutral B, but Hadouken going through their neutral B is super good, because whenever they try to wall us out with that, you can just get a free 14% or so and just be able to approach and like open them up in neutral. Offstage sucks? Not really. Not really. The thing is, like, we have enough mix with like stalling with things like focus, Hadouken, hover, and like the mix up of, okay, how are they coming off stage after me? Okay, they just, let's say, they just back through me. Okay, I've got to recover. I'm going to Hadouken hover, and now, how are they going to come at me? I have the mix-up of jumping and Tatsuing high, or I have the mix-up of Shoryukening low. When you go low, it's really, they actually have a hard time challenging when you go too low. Unless they, like, they have, like, some nifty stuff they can do, but it's really committal, and they have to, like, be really accurate with the timing of when they're going to do it. So I feel like we have enough mix to, like, warrant being able to get around them. I actually don't think that recovery's that bad. 120 to 149 is a pretty sizable window. It is. It is definitely a sizable window, and that's the biggest argument for it being even. Is that alone. But the thing is they have to grab you. That's the thing. Grabbing Shoto mains is hard as fuck, because we're never not pushing something. You know what I mean? We're either spacing out with like Hadouken and shit like that, which we have 6 speeds, and yes, I know the big argument a lot of people like to throw is like, yeah, well, they can just dash under Hadouken. Yeah, if they time it right. And when you have so many different speeds to mix it up from, and you're specifically aiming for certain things, like them to start a dash, them to like space air, like short hop aerial after the animation's out, you whiff punish it with Hadouken, or things like that. Like when you know how to set up whiff punish it with Hadouken, you're not really like throwing it out like willy-nilly. You're specifically throwing out to bait those things. So like if I throw out slow shock when he dives under, I can buffer down smash and punish it, or I can short hop and place in there and then catch their landing there. You know, things like that. Where I get a lot of my opinions on this matchup is I played this matchup extensively with a really good Inkling player named Blue Jay. Actually, Vendetta, you know this guy. He's in your region. And I just feel pretty consistent. It just feels like I get rewarded more from the little things in neutral. You know what I mean? Like Nair down smash, Shakunetsu, things like that. You know, whatever.